Hey, what's going on? It's a beautiful day because we have beef. Jon Jones took to Twitter and he directly responded to Dana White and all the shit that Dana's been chatting to him, saying that he was never going to be on the White House card, and then reverting back that statement saying, okay, hold on, maybe some people were negotiating, but we were talking to everybody. We were talking to everybody. It wasn't just Jon. He addresses everything. He even asked for his release from the UFC if he's not going to be able to fight again, saying that he got stem cell treatment that way he could get on the White House card. He breaks down everything and even gives us a timeline and how late it was until they actually had this White House card figured out. These motherfuckers wait to the last second for everything. I do not understand how a $1 billion company like the UFC waits so long to get fight negotiations locked down. It makes no sense to me. But we have everything laid out here. If you don't know, we're going to go through everything. This is when he was first saying that Jon Jones was never going to be on the White House card. After they announced the White House card, shit is a 2024 Miami card, mid as fuck. It was not what it was supposed to be at all. Jon going on Twitter, responding, and then him going on IG Live. I don't know if he was in bed with some other dude and he got out of the room so we could film this video. I don't know. And then Dana White, after the Zuffa boxing event, going in more on Jon, saying, bro, you saw the guy with the meta glasses. This guy can't even walk. But let's go ahead and start with directly what Jon Jones said. So this is what he tweeted out, like, what, an hour ago? Yeah, not even an hour ago. Hey, everyone, I want to address Dana's comments from this past weekend because the truth matters to me and the fans. Dana, you were heated about why I'm not on the White House card, but let's clear something up. My team and I were actually negotiating with the UFC for that fight. Real negotiations. I even came down from my original number. And what was offered in return? I was lowballed. So, as we know, Jon Jones was offered $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall. He didn't take the fight, call him a bitch, whatever the fact. He dragged out the fact that he was heavyweight champion, held onto the belt for so long, agreed that he was going to fight Tom Aspinall for $30 million, backed out of the fight, he didn't. Then after some random Azerbaijan card, Dana White announces Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the world. Jon Jones is retired. He's never going to come back to the UFC. And I assumed they were not going to pay him the $30 million because why would you pay this guy $30 million? I mean, he just fucked you over. But you're still going to pay him, right? I mean, you just gave Conor Benn $15 million for one fight in Zuffa boxing. But whatever the number was, I don't know. But he was pretty much saying, I want to fight on the White House card. I'll even take a lower number. And I guess he came down from his original number, and then they lowballed that number even more. Yes, I have arthritis in my hips, and it's painful, but that doesn't mean I can't fight. So let me get this straight. If I had accepted the lowball offer, suddenly my hip would be fine and I'd be on the White House card. That doesn't make sense. Say what you want about Jon Jones. This is 100% true. There was no reason for Dana White to come out, and we're going to, like I said, we're going to see it if you haven't seen it. We're going to see exactly what Dana said. There was no reason for him to come out and for people to ask, hey, was Jon Jones going to be on this card? Was that ever even a possibility for Jon Jones to fight on the White House card? Why did Dana have to come out and shit on him? It does not make sense. Why do you have to come out and be like, yo, we were never even talking about Jon. I told you guys a million times, Jon Jones is not going to be on this card. Jon Jones is retired. He was never going to be on there. It makes no sense to come out and say, hey, we weren't even talking to him. There was no negotiations to be had. And then to later come out and say, okay, somebody was talking to him. It wasn't me. But we were never actually going to put him on the White House card. It just doesn't make sense to lie about a situation that's already done and in the past. Like, he didn't even have to say anything, and it would have been over fine. Why Dana White chose to come out and say shit, I don't know. We have Jon here saying, I even received stem cell treatment last week to get ready for the White House card, and training camp was scheduled to start today. I was preparing to be ready. I understand business deals fall through sometimes, but going out publicly and saying things that aren't true isn't right. After everything I've given to the UFC, the years, the title defenses, he's fucked over the UFC, but he's really, this is 100% true. He has fucked over the UFC, but the UFC has also treated their fighters consistently like shit. If anybody deserves to be treated like shit, it's probably Jon Jones, but he's spitting right here. These are facts. These are facts. The fights, hearing that I'm done is disappointing, especially when as recently as Friday, the UFC was trying to get me on that White House card for a much lower number. If the UFC truly feels like I'm done, then I respectfully ask to be released from my contract today. No more spins, no more games. Thank you to the real fans who knows what's up. Bones out. Corny as hell to say bones out, but this is real. They were waiting until the last second to finalize this White House card. They announced the White House card on Saturday. Justin Gaethje said he didn't find out he was going to even be on the White House card until Saturday. Until Saturday, he didn't find out he was going to be on the White House card. Later, it comes out that they were trying to make Ilya versus Islam, but Islam has his hand injured. This is all coming out in the last 2 days. I mean, today's Monday. You know, the UFC 326 was 2 days ago. It was supposed to be Ilya and Islam. That fight didn't go through because of the hand thing. So they were scrambling to figure out who else could be on the card. They made Ilya and Justin Gaethje, But Jon Jones and Alex Pereira was right there. Didn't work out, so they made the Cyril Gane fight. Obviously, right? We know what's going to be on the White House card now. But not having that shit finalized until Friday, and then having the opportunity to put Jon Jones on the White House card, which would have drastically changed the perception of the card. Everybody would have been fine with it. You don't even have to have Ilya on the card, which it sounds like, according to Ariel Helwani, that they weren't even going to do. They weren't even going to have Jon Jones and Ilya on the same card. They were going to remove Ilya, have Jon Jones and Alex Pereira, and then it was Amanda and Kayla. Amanda and Kayla can't happen. Kayla went through surgery for her neck like a couple months ago. That shit was never going to happen. But just coming out and just directly lying on Jon like this, I do not understand what that even does for Dana, other than provoke him to come out and say shit like this and to pretty much come out and address the exact lies that you're saying. So if you don't know the kind of the timeline about everything that happened, this is Dana directly after UFC 326 talking about the fact that Jon Jones was never going to be on the White House card.
There is speculation, of course, that it's Jon Jones.
No, it's not.
Was Jon
Never, ever.
It's Oscar asking him, the fight that fell out, and there's like that clip of Mick like fucking talking to Sean Shelby in his ear like it's 9/11. The fight fell out. He's saying it wasn't Jon. We don't know who that fight was, but this is him saying that fight wasn't Jon, and by the way, Jon was never going to be on the card.
Ever. Which I told you guys 100,000 times was Jon Jones even remotely in my mind to fight at the White House. I wouldn't. First of all, I've told you why I wouldn't do it. And number two,
when he says I told you why he wouldn't do it, it's because of the Tom Aspinall situation. Him dragging the heavyweight bet out for so long, saying he's going to accept the fight, accepting the fight, not signing the contract, but verbally agreeing to the $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall, and then not doing it, and then fucking him over. Valid reason for them not to put him on. But if they're in negotiations, why say what he's going to say, which we're going to see?
some guy with, meta glasses on filmed him talking about his hips, that his hips are so bad. And I don't know if you guys saw that flag football game where he can barely run. Jon Jones he retired because of his hips. He's got arthritis in his hips. Add that on top of all the other reasons that I wouldn't. The Jon Jones thing is bullshit. I'm not saying they weren't talking to Jon Jones and that Jon Jones wasn't interested in the fight. And it was even crazier.
That right there. The Jon Jones thing is bullshit, but I'm not saying they weren't talking to Jon Jones. So it's complete bullshit, and Jon Jones was never going to be on the White House card, but they're sitting exploring options with Jon Jones, negotiating numbers with him as late as Friday, fucking 3 days ago. But no, it was never a serious option. We were never going to put Jon Jones. There's no reason for him to say this. He could have just said it wasn't the Jon fight. He couldn't even say anything. He could have just said it wasn't the Jon fight. He gives bullshit answers all the time to stop the question and to where nobody presses. These guys don't press the conference anyway. The only real ones are fucking Oscar Willis and it was Kevin Aioli, but, we don't have him anymore. The GOAT retired. And maybe fucking John Morgan. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to ask him tough questions. He could have just shut it down and moved on. But he chose to shit on Jon and talk about his fucking arthritis in his hips.
Is Jon Jones came out and was like, I'm in negotiations right now for the White House fight, after I had already sent a text to his lawyer saying, never going to happen ever.
So he sent a text to his lawyer saying that was never going to happen. He was never going to be on the White House card because Jon, as he was talking about, he came out and was like, hey, at some event, I don't know, but he was just like, hey, I'm in negotiations for the White House card, and everybody fucking clapped, like a little bit of a clout chaser moment, but it is big. I mean, everybody figured that Jon was going to be on the White House card. Like, we knew Ilya and Justin was going to be on there. Turns out they were trying to make another fight, but we knew Ilya was going to be on there in some way, right? Ilya versus Justin. It just makes sense. I mean, fuck, Ilya's not going to fight for another year. We knew that there was going to be a big fight on there. It's just expected. Jon Jones has been talking about coming back for the White House card. Like, as much as you want to shit on Jon Jones and as much as he fucked over the sport, if you want an American to win, put Jon Jones on the fucking card. Let's be completely honest. Against Alex Pereira, that fight is fucking massive. If it's not Tom Aspinall, it's Alex Pereira. That's the only fight to make. And they didn't make it. But they'll sign Conor Benn for $15 million. I mean, what else could it be? Besides the first point, they're clearly in negotiations with him. They clearly would have been okay if he accepted that low ball offer, like Jon says in this post. If I would have accepted it, then suddenly my hip would be fine and I would be on the White House card. It doesn't make any sense. This is what Jon Jones went and responded on Twitter to that little presser that he said, I'm released from the UFC, let's go. If I would prove him wrong, would I be wrong? Or would I be the bigger man and remaining silent? I'll be the fall guy. Sure. Make this make sense. So all of this negotiation was complete bullshit. Is that what you want me to agree to publicly? Man, how fucking painful. Laying in my bed, wrapping my head around this perception, all I can think is how fucking painful. And then the other half of me is like, is it really though? He typically does, his quarterly fucking Twitter rant. He deleted everything. But it's now that we know what really happened, it's perfectly valid. And then this was him on IG Live fucking depression posting.
Pissed off. So pissed off.
I mean, look at the room he's in. He's just in a completely fucking dark room, just lying in bed, devastated over fucking Dana White exposing his arthritis hips. I don't know why he shows a shot of his ass there, but
I'm so pissed off.
and that's it. Just I'm so pissed off. Went on IG Live, didn't say anything else. And then this is Dana responding to the Twitter tirade that he went on, and then the Instagram video of him showing his ass saying he's so pissed off.
I don't know if you saw, but this morning Jon Jones went on a bit of a Twitter tirade, and then he ended up deleting them. Have you seen his comments?
No.
Or he basically very heavily pushed back on you, saying that there were no negotiations. And then
I never said there were no negotiations. I never said that. I said we're.
Yes, you did. Okay, you said that he was never going to be in talks for the White House card. You said that verbatim. He was never going to be in talks. And then you said, oh, well, people were talking to him. What the fuck? Which is it, bro?
Are they talking to Jon Jones? They talk to everybody.
And then he says the same thing right there. They talk to everybody. What is talking? Is talking not negotiations? If you're not gonna, if you're negotiating with somebody, what are you negotiating for? What are you negotiating for? You just putting a feeler out there saying how much Jon Jones is gonna get paid. This is the top. This like there's like 3 stars in the UFC right now. Jon Jones is one of them. You're not gonna talk to Jon Jones if you're not serious about the negotiation. I mean, it doesn't even make sense the shit that he's saying. But nobody pushes back against him. Nobody says shit to him. Nobody gives him any rebuttal at the press conferences. Nothing. At least Oscar is asking good questions. I don't even think this is Oscar, but they're asking questions, but then there's no follow-up questions. They don't push back on anything. Hey, you did say this. Hey, you did say that. Because, of course, he's going to fucking kick him out of the presser. He's going to deny their press pass if they push back in any form or fashion. I mean, this guy just chats shit for the fucking longest, and nobody says shit to him.
Everybody was talked to. Not one word of what I said was not true about the whole Jon Jones thing. And how many times have I sat up here and said, he's not fighting at the White House? No. And have you guys not all seen the video of the dude with the meta glasses on when he didn't know he was being filmed, telling them that his hips are fucking shot?
He's fucking his hips. He's always fucking obsessed with his hips, bro. Like
replacement. Did you not see the videos of him running on the flag football game? And what did I say that wasn't true? It was all true. And you guys all bust my balls about how much I love Jon Jones. And John's the greatest of all time. No way in hell Jon Jones is going to be booked for the White House card.
So why enter in negotiations with him? Why even come out in this way and shit on him at all? It doesn't make any sense to shit on him at all. You didn't even have to say anything. Once again, you didn't have to say anything. But he just came out and pretty much exposed, like, okay, he was never going to be on the White House card, and his hips and this is that fucked up. So in the Islam situation, which it just came out today, which is Arrow was talking about, they were negotiating with Islam. They put out a feeler, said, hey, Islam, is this something that you would even do? He's like, hey, my hand is injured. That's all we know, is that his hand is injured. That's why he didn't take the fight, or that's the official reason as of now, because his hand was injured. His manager, or like Ali, didn't come out and say that. This is what Arrow's saying, and let's be honest, he's the fucking only one with the inside scoop, the only true inside scoop. This isn't fucking Crazy Kev on Twitter. So Islam says his hand is injured. Boom, that stops right there. The meta glasses video that he knows so well, and the clips of him running at the football field, which he did look like shit, but he's not going to be sprinting in the fucking octagon. I mean, none of these guys can shoot a fucking 3-pointer shot. You know what I mean? They can't fucking do any other sports for shit. They suck, but they're really good at fighting. You know about these injuries, but then you're still going to contact him to the point where you're negotiating numbers. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, this whole story is fucking complete bullshit. It's so fucking far. Like, you give this answer with this reasoning, but this reasoning completely fucks up this reasoning. And it's like you're making counterpoints the entire time to what he's saying. He's contradicting himself the entire time. I mean, did not ever think I'd be making a video like talking about Jon Jones kind of being on his side in a way, because like, dude, he fucked him over not taking that Tom Aspinall fight. He fucked Tom over, wasted a lot of people's time. He ducked Tom 100%. I mean, look at his fucking profile picture. It's still the duck. But he's 100% right in this situation. I'm so glad he came out to expose this. The UFC has been getting a lot of shit. Dana White in particular. I mean, there's just no need to add fuel to the fire and go directly after your fighters like this. Dana White consistently talks shit on Tom Aspinall, doesn't fucking back him up at all, but then will go and fucking glaze Jon Jones for a year and a half to promote a fight with old man Stipe. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. These guys shit on the fucking fighters every chance they get. They refuse to build up anybody. I mean, they move so filthy. These guys move so filthy. But they can, because guess what? They just got $7 billion and can give out mid fucking pay-per-views that would be just a normal stacked card in 2024. The White House card sucks. It's a good card. It's not the White House card that we were supposed to be given. It's not. And I'm fucking so glad that Jon came out and exposed everything and talked about this. Like, I cannot wait for Dana's response to this shit, because he does need to fucking I mean, dude, you can't just come, like, there was no need to come out and shit on Jon Jones like this. There was no need, because you make yourself look fucking goofier than you already did. And I'm so glad he came out and said this shit. If they release him, who gives a fuck? Because it's not like Jon is gonna take another fight somewhere else. Like, no, he's not gonna fight anywhere else. He's gonna fight in the UFC. This is a good power move, and there's still time to get him on the fucking White House card. But knowing these motherfuckers, they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it because he came out and he talked about this shit publicly. And it's fucked up, man. It's ridiculous. Like, they don't make the big fights anymore. They don't give a shit. They're making so much money. And Ronda Rousey's 100% right. Their interest right now as a company is to min-max profits. They are minimizing expenses while maximizing profits as much as possible, even if it's at the cost of the entire fan base, not the casuals, right? Because they're just going to see one big name and watch the card. White House card is going to be huge. But the people who watch the sport, the people who have been around the sport, the people who love the sport, the hardcores, they realize that they're just min-maxing all the value that they can get out of the mid cards that they're putting out. And it's ridiculous. And I'm glad people are talking about this. I'm glad all the fighters are speaking up about the pay, the Conor Benn situation. I mean, this shit is fucking ridiculous. And then Dana White goes and talks about the fact that people should be happy that fighters are getting paid more money. Not the UFC fighters. Jon Jones is worth whatever price that they were trying to give him. Not $30 million. Make that the cap. Give him fucking 25. Make the big fights happen. This is what would be expected years ago. It's not anymore. They just spoon feed us shit. But anyway, yeah, I mean, fuck. I cannot wait for Jon Jones. I mean, I cannot wait for Dana to respond to this, because this is juicy and this is amazing. I love this. This is the most interesting thing going on right now, because we just got given fucking shit on a plate and said that this is the sphere on steroids. I already made a video on the White House shitting on it, but yeah, this is the most interesting thing right now. But let me know what you think. Can't believe I'm taking Jon Jones' side in any fucking situation. But yeah, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Peace.